Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid is the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire in 10 years on minimum wage. And in this video I'm going to explain how it is that I manage to stay motivated and getting up at 4:30 every morning to go to work. I'm often asked how it is that I remain motivated enough to get up at 4:30 in the morning every day. And it's a great question to ask, because I have in the past walked away from successful operations. I've walked away during an operation just because out of pure boredom. It was Dostoevsky who said, if all a person has to do is eat cake and procreate, they'll soon start breaking things just to alleviate the boredom. And if you're an entrepreneur, you'll know something about this, because entrepreneurs love the startup part of a business the best. It's when you get all the adrenaline hit, because it's very fluid, everything's in motion, you're looking for premises, doing some advertising, sourcing products, looking to recruit people, all that good stuff. And you continue to do that until you hit your goal. And then when you hit your goal, it's almost like underwhelming. And that's because what's happened here is the fluidity's gone, is that the excitement's gone, the adrenaline's gone, and then you start casting your eyes around looking for the next adrenaline hit. I know that because I've done it myself. I walked away from successful businesses because out of boredom, and I've let businesses fail for the same reason. I remember once we took a business partner of mine on a pub, and it was doing about £1,000 a week. It was on its knees, and the brewery said, we'll give you this pub, but the target is £3,000 a week. And within about 6 months, me and my pal had built it up to, some days on bank holidays we were taking £10,000 a day. So great success. And I walked away from that just because I got bored, because it had become a routine and it had just become a job. In hindsight, the remedy to that was that I should have had a goal that was larger than just the establishment of the business. Because if once you've established the business and that's only taken you 6 months, well then you've hit your goal, you've achieved what you set out to do, and now you're going to get bored. However, if the goal was a gold-plated 30-story establishment of a business, and the establishment of that one pub, the first pub, was just a step on the way, then you'd never get bored, because it was just that one step, and your gold-plated goal was some way ahead, so you'd remain motivated. Then the goal we broken down into month, weekly, and maybe daily tasks, in which the missing of or the failing to achieve any of these tasks risked you not achieving your goal. And in that environment, when one step needs to be done, where you risk everything by not achieving that one simple task, that one day, that 1 week, that 1 month, by not establishing that, boredom can't exist, because you don't want to put anything at risk by not hitting your targets. That one pub that I had should have been one in a chain of 5 or 10, because then I wouldn't get bored, because just when I established that one pub and made it a success, it didn't mean I'd established my goal. It was just one step on the way to that goal. And so it is a bit like myself right now. How do I still get up at 4:30 in the morning? Well, we've got a bit of a milestone coming up, because by the end of this month I hope to have completed on my 4th property and my first serviced accommodation. And that will mean that I've reached full financial independence, that my unearned income from the 4 properties I will own by then is greater than my earned income from cabbing. And I could just retire there, because isn't that what most people's dream is, to have their unearned income replace their salary? I could retire on full salary. But I won't do that, and I won't stop, and I'm not even patting myself on the back for it, because my goal, which is to become a millionaire in 10 years whilst earning minimum wage, is still 5 years in the distance. So I'm motivated because I'm not bored, because I haven't hit my goal. Full FI is just one step on the way to that £1 million. If my initial goal had only to be lean financial independence, that is to say that my unearned income covered all my bills, I would have done that 2 years ago. But I kept moving on because it wasn't my goal. I had a much larger, as I said, gold-plated 30-story goal. If my goal is to become financially independent, I would stop next month, but it's not my goal. And that's what gets me up at 4:30 every morning, because if I don't get up at 4:30, I'm putting at risk and jeopardizing the chance of my achieving my goal of being a million in 10 years. Someone once said, you'll never achieve more than your highest aspiration. And they're absolutely right. Because again, if my aspiration had been lean FI or full FI, I would stop now. So sometimes your aspirations can put a brake, a ceiling on what's potentially you can achieve. So my advice in this video is that make sure you've got a massive goal, and make sure those goals on the way are milestones to that massive goal. And every time you hit that milestone, by the way, you should give yourself a pat on the back and look back from where you started and look back at what you've achieved right now, and involve your family in that, because whilst my wife plays no part in my little obsession with becoming a millionaire in 10 years, she does in a way, because we haven't been on holiday in 5 years. So she is putting in, just contributing to it in our own way and suffering with me if you wish. So it's important you involve your family. So every time you hit one of these milestones, then make sure you thank them, take them out for a meal, explain where you are, explain where you've been, where you've come from, and where you're going to go forward to. Make sure you have that 30-story gold-plated goal, guys. That's how I keep motivated. I hope you do too. Don't be stupid and don't be normal.